your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
All right, everybody. Brian Engelman here at Politicon 2018 in Los Angeles, California. I am here with Mike Cernovich. Mike, thank you very much for taking a few minutes to speak with us today. You're here at a booth. You're talking about this movie. Why don't you tell us all about what you got going on and why you put it together?
Sure. I wanted to make a movie about something that was beautiful, and fake news is a hot subject. One that's interested me. It's an allegation leveled at me. And I thought, I want to make something beautiful. Why don't I make something beautiful and topical? And that's what Hoaxed is.
And, you know, I had this conversation with a lady. I took the Metro line in from where I live to drop off at the convention center. And we were talking about news and about how Trump is this and that. And I said, yeah, it's always been this way. What is your interpretation of how dishonest the media has been and how long it's been dishonest? Because this isn't a new thing. This is, you know, since the yellow journalism days, Martin Luther nailing on the church doors. What is your take on where we are today, and has it always been this way?
The question that I wrestle with myself, and I don't know the answer to, is has the news always been fake, or has it become faker? And the reason it's a hard thing to answer, because with social media, you can bust a hoax in real time. Right. So the media says, oh, this happened and Cernovich kicked over a table angrily. Like, no, like 10 people streamed it. You know, you can't just make things up. So the question is, were they always this dishonest, or are there always more ways to catch them? Same thing with, like, I think of it in terms of autism. Is autism on the rise, or do people just know how to diagnose a condition that was always there? I don't know the answer to it, and I don't know that we could ever know the answer to it.
Were you surprised by anything you found in the making of this? Because I just finished a full-length documentary on the Cleveland Browns. I do a sports show, and, you know, it's frivolous, whatever, but it's about family and what have you. But in the process of making the movie, the story tells itself through the content that you, in the editing process, where you figure it out. Were you surprised by anything that you discovered in putting this movie together?
100%, because the Kickstarter promo was very adversarial towards the media, very aggressive, and even a little mean-spirited. And because when you're making art, you make the art makes you. It's a never-ending recursive process. We realized that a lot of things that we thought were conspiratorial really weren't. It's just groupthink. And so my approach in terms of the mainstream media is much more nuanced. I wouldn't say it's soft, but it's a lot more empathy and understanding from me. And I'm realizing, okay, there isn't some kind of secret headquarters where they meet. These are just regular people. They're subject to groupthink, confirmation bias like the rest of us. Some of them are bad, but most of them, at least at places like the New York Times, the Washington Post, or respectable publications, they are trying to get it right. They're biased, and then of course there are the gutter Antifa blogs like the Huffington Post where they just don't care. But there's a difference, right? There's a difference.
So are you, moving forward, are you optimistic with 2018 midterm elections, with 2020 on the horizon? Because obviously at the midterms, you got to start talking 2020. I don't see anybody on the Democrats' bench. Nobody's warming up in the bullpen that I think is going to come in 2020. Like, what is your outlook in the next couple of years with the American political system, Republicans, Democrats, the media, what the media has done with Kavanaugh, with Russians? It's always something. What's your take on where we are and where we're headed?
I'm comfortably agnostic about the midterm elections. I don't know, man. Everybody's getting big crowds. How much of it is media manipulation? How much of it isn't? I noticed in the past week, the media, they've already hedged their bets, and they're now saying, well, what if Democrats don't win? I'm like, well, wait a minute. A month ago, you said the polling said Democrats were blue waving.
Blue wave.
Yeah,
tsunami.
Yeah, right. So now they're hedging their bets. So I don't know, man.
They also said Hillary was going to win in a landslide.
Yeah, so I don't know. I knew Trump was going to win, and I know that there's no Democrat right now who can beat Trump in 2020. November, I don't know, though. I'm happy to just say I'm going to watch the show like everyone else, and I'll find out who wins on election night.
Well, with fake news being a cornerstone of the project you just completed, seeing people being censored, demonetized, deplatformed, shadow banned, what is your take on social media in general as somebody who has an opinion that is often shut down and stopped? Do you see this continuing? Do you see rival alternative media, social media networks popping up? What do you see on the future for that? Because you've been kind of in the crosshairs for a while.
The future is virtual reality, and we'll be at Politicon with VR headsets on. We'll be at rallies with VR headsets. So I'm surprised that I haven't been, I call it murdered from the internet. Every day I wake up and I check my text messages, and I know that if I was murdered from the internet, my phone would be, blowing up. And I go, okay, I haven't been murdered from the internet today. I wonder if I'll be murdered. But now that I got hoaxed out, I feel when people watch Hoaxed, they're going to look really bad if they murder me, because it's a very balanced, well-shot film, and they will look like the assholes, a bigger asshole than me, if you can believe it. That's how the people will look if they go after me.
Well, then, all right. Then for everybody, let's wrap it up on this. For Hoaxed, for all of this, tell the people what is at the core of this, where it came from, what they're going to find in it, and why they need to check it out, and where they can find it.
We wanted to do a topical film that was also timeless. So we talk about, Scott Adams talks about confirmation bias. We talk about the nature of truth. What is it? Can you really know truth? What does it mean to seek truth? Who is seeking truth and who isn't? What is groupthink? How are we being manipulated? So I made this with my audience in mind. When I told the filmmakers, I said, I don't want MAGA bait and I don't want Cernovich propaganda. I said, I want you to think about a center left-wing person who is amenable to a conversation. You're not going to watch it and say, oh, suddenly my whole worldview has changed. But whether you're...
Are there still people on the left that are willing to have a conversation with uncomfortable topics? Because it seems like that has dissipated and narrowed very much from where it used to be at least a couple decades.
Well, that's a great question. It's an important one. Actually, yes, but not publicly. Okay. So the people I talk to back channel, you wouldn't believe it. That's why I'm in a way more optimistic than some is. I know the conversations people are having, but...
And they're fed up with the nonsense.
Yeah. They're fed up with, you can't be seen in a picture with me, but you can be in a picture with Louis Farrakhan. It's like, well,
yeah, where's the
I think
line?
Louis is a little worse than I am, but if you can't be in a picture with me, then how are you going to be in one with Louis? You got to be in us both, right? Thank you.
All right, perfect. So then the movie, where's the best place to find it, and why does everybody need to check it out?
Yeah, go to hoaxedmovie.com, watch the trailer. If you love the trailer, you're going to love the film. If you don't like the trailer, save your money, because I don't want angry customers.
Fair enough. Mike Cernovich, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Good luck to you and the project.
Thank you.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.